All right, let's tackle one of the biggest riddles there is. What is your true self? Now, we're not going to use vague spiritual ideas here. Instead, we're going to follow a really sharp, logical path, starting with something you know intimately, your own direct experience, and see where it leads. It's a journey that ends with a pretty profound realization.
So let's just start with this question right up front, because it frames everything we're about to explore. What if the you that you experience every single day, the voice in your head, the person who's listening to me right now, what if that's not the whole story? What if it's just the tip of the iceberg? So our investigation has to start right here with what we know for sure. You've probably heard that classic spiritual line, you are not your body, you are not your mind. But let's be real, our moment-to-moment experience seems to tell us the exact opposite, doesn't it? That contradiction, that's our entry point. And yeah, our immediate reality totally backs this up. From our point of view, the body is our constant companion. And the mind? Well, the mind is even more constant. I mean, think about it. When you're dreaming, your physical body is just lying in bed, but your sense of I is off having some crazy adventure in the mind. So logically, it makes perfect sense to assume our personal self is completely tied to this body-mind thing. But here it is. This is the key that unlocks the entire mystery. When you're awake, the I is there. When you're dreaming, the I is there. But what about that state of complete and total blackout? In deep, dreamless sleep, your body's there, your brain's functioning, but where did the personal I go? Where's the story, the personality, the thoughts? They're just gone. That simple observation forces us to make a really crucial distinction. There's the personal I, the ego, which clearly comes and goes. It's present when you're awake, present when you dream, but it's completely absent in deep sleep. This logically means there must be something else, a constant underlying reality that's there even when the ego isn't. Think of it like a movie screen. The real I is the screen. It's always there. Waking life is one movie, dreams are another, and deep sleep, that's just the empty resting screen. Now, in some philosophical traditions, this real I has a name, Sat Chit Nanda, and it's a perfect description of its nature. It just is. That's pure existence. It is the very capacity for awareness, pure consciousness, and its fundamental nature is peace or bliss. The key thing is, unlike our ego, this reality is unchanging. It was here before your personal story started, and it's here when that story vanishes every night in deep sleep. Okay, so this leads us to a really fascinating logical puzzle. If this real I is our true nature, can the ego, the little I that's listening and thinking about all this right now, can it somehow turn around and find it? Can it experience this Satchita Ananda? I mean, can a character in a movie actually see the screen it's being projected on? And the answer, when you follow the logic, is an absolute uncompromising no. The ego self will never experience the real I. It can think about it, it can write books about it, it can search for it for a lifetime, but it can never, ever perceive it as some kind of object. And why not? Because the ego itself is just an appearance on that reality. This analogy just makes it crystal clear. The ego is like a shadow. It has no substance of its own, right? Its very existence depends entirely on the light, the real I that's casting it. A shadow can't turn around and grab the sun. It's impossible. In the exact same way, an appearance can't grasp the reality that allows it to appear in the first place. So you might be thinking, well, hold on, what's the point of even knowing this then? And that's the whole secret. This line of reasoning isn't some new tool for your ego to add to its collection, to go out and find the biggest spiritual prize. No, this knowledge actually works like a solvent. The more you really sit with it, the more it dissolves the very foundation of mistaken identity that holds the whole idea of a separate ego together. This brings us to the ultimate final question. If the whole point is the dissolution of the ego, what is that like? When the ego finally disappears, who is there to experience it? Who gets to enjoy this grand prize at the end of the spiritual quest? The incredible thing is, the answer is actually hidden right inside the question itself. Just look at how it's phrased. Who experiences it? That question automatically assumes there's a subject, a who, that's having an experience of an object, it. But that very separation between subject and object, all that is the ego. The question has the ego built right into it. So, the classic, completely mind-bending answer is no one. No one is there. No one experiences the ego vanishing, because the vanishing of the ego is the end of the experiencer. It's not an event that happens to you, it's the complete cessation of the you that has experiences. Let's try to make this a little more concrete with a few quick analogies. First, think about a dream. When you wake up, does your dream character experience the dream ending? Of course not. That character just ceases to exist. Or think about light entering a dark room. Does the darkness experience being destroyed? No. Darkness was only ever the absence of light. And one more, a wave crashing back into the ocean. Does the wave experience its dissolution? No. Its form just vanishes, but its substance, water, was always the ocean. The ego's dissolution is just like that.
So, what's the big takeaway here? The entire spiritual search gets flipped completely on its head. It was never about a small self finding some bigger self. It's about seeing with absolute clarity that the small self was an illusion all along. The journey isn't one of seeking, but of seeing. And in that seeing, the seeker just disappears, leaving only what was always here. So the real question isn't, how do I find my true self? The real question is, what remains when the one who was searching is finally gone?